I've listened to this discussion with keen interest, and I have to say that timing is everything. And for all of us in this chamber, we've seen this coming. This is not new news. And all of us here have had every opportunity to come forward with recommendations that can promote quality, affordable education, which is what we want for all of our communities. Quality, affordable education. And moreover, what we're looking for are things that are consensus-based, things that bring people together rather than polarization, rather than teachers versus administrators versus business people versus farmers versus parents. We collectively should be engaged in a constructive dialogue that puts forth a series of recommendations that work in the best interests of all involved in education. And to date, this body has not. And it's not from a lack of education in our own right or lack of ability. It's not from a lack of goodwill, but it is from a lack of concerted attention to a very serious matter. I have to share with you, a year ago last fall, I began a series of task forces in my district. I started with public hearings. And I said to my community, come and tell me, what is it we could or should do that promotes the twin goals of quality, affordable education? We had great turnout. From there, I established 3 task forces, and each of the task forces have met once at this point. My district is expansive, so Southern Tier, Mid-Hudson, Northern Catskills. Cross-section. We have begun an inventory of critical recommendations that can meet those twin goals that have been unanimously embraced by these disparate interests. Why aren't we doing that here? So, back to the issue of timing. Now, is this bill the end of the world? It's not. To be honest, it's a refinancing. It's an attempt to avoid lump sum costs. But the way it's being presented, whether it's a real impact or perception, is caught in the mix of an end-of-session charge without full vetting of the issue, with keen interests and eyes watching, many of whom are rather crispy at this point, and I can say it's both inside the chamber and outside the chamber, questioning the logic and timing of this bill. Most recently, we have memos in opposition from Unshackle Upstate. We have a memo in opposition from the Realtors Association. We have a memo in opposition from the National Federation of Independent Business. And again, it begs the question, if we want to present and provide tools, why aren't we doing it in full view with full public discussion? I'll just share one example. From our task forces, we had a recommendation that instead of consolidating schools of 1,000 or less, as was recommended in the Swazi report, a recommendation totally impractical in rural areas where the prospect of taking kids on a bus and transporting them not just 1 hour but now 2 hours to a consolidated school district, impractical. How about looking at ways of consolidating services? How about consolidating administrative services? And to be honest, that was a recommendation that resonated with everyone. So I put a bill in. Now, Ms. Russell was gracious enough to help me work with that bill. We have a bill that was sponsored in the Senate by John Bonasek. It passed. So we have a bill that was live on the floor that would allow school superintendents and business managers and special needs administrators and other administrative officials in large and small rural school districts to consolidate with each other with or without BOCES. And conservatively, by my estimation, in small rural districts, could save as much as 5%, just between 2 school districts, could save 5% on the annual tax roll in 1 year, without hurting students, without hurting programs, without hurting educational opportunities. To me, that's illustrative of what this body can do if we put our collective hearts and minds to the challenge. So I say to you, this bill is at the end of the world. It's not, but it's the wrong message at the wrong time, and it shows that we have much more work to do as a body to attack this issue intelligently, and the issue of quality, affordable education for all our children. I will be in opposition to this bill, and I encourage this body to put our heads together. We are smarter than this. We can do more than this. We are much more capable. Let's put our collective hearts and minds together and come up with a real package that resonates with all interests on this issue. Again, Mr. Speaker, I'll be voting in the negative. Thank you.